The woods beside Lochdown in Roundwood, County Wicklow, is one of the locations for today's shoot of the $5 million gangster thriller Taffin. Waiting around is part and parcel of the film world, but the production unit are shooting on average 5 minutes a day. Pierce Brosnan plays the lead role and sports a very different image to Remington Steele, a lived-in leather jacket and several days' growth of stubble.
Well, he's depicted as a kind of Robin Hood type character, which I don't quite like that wording. More Mad Max, I suppose, but he's a debt collector. He was an ex-priest, and he is an ex-priest turned debt collector, and the community that he lives in call upon his services to get rid of this chemical plant that's been built on a piece of ground there. And it's the consequences from this interaction between him, the community, and the local politicians. And it's got some bite to it, I must say. I don't go to see rushes, which is the day's work. So I can only pick up from what people say, and they like it very much. They're very happy with it.
Earlier, a scene was shot with leading lady, former Irish model Alison Doody. Her acting career took off after a part in James Bond's A View to a Kill, but this role is her big break.
It's a lovely part because Charlotte is very strong in it. It's not just a girl on his side. I mean, she's very involved in it, in the plot, in everything. She's very strong. She's also, I mean, she's very sensitive when it comes to Taffin. She's very attracted by Taffin when she first meets him. And she's very strong, and it's a nice part to play. It's very interesting, very good.
Pierce Brosnan has played Remington Steele for 5 years, but he feels he has a lot more freedom of expression now in movies than was ever permitted in that series.
The producers on the show really wanted to keep a very tight rein on everything, and they got very uptight and paranoid if you did have any suggestions. But there was a certain amount of interplay between us. But near the end, for me, I just got very jaded by the whole thing, and 5 years was enough of it, really. I mean, I was very pleased to get the job, and it helped my career a great deal. So I can't knock it in that sense. It's just that there was a direction that I would like to have seen to go in, and they didn't want to take it that way. They were very scared that they would lose their audience, and they didn't want to rock the boat, and they didn't.
Well, now, Remington Steele, the series, is immensely popular here in Ireland, and one would have thought that the production shot here in this country on location here last year and transmitted last week would have been a winner. Instead, RTE received a torrent of outraged phone calls complaining about the phony accents and the staged twee Irishness, which was embarrassing to watch, people said. Why do you think Ireland was depicted in that way?
I have no idea. Well, the producers never came over here, and I was embarrassed by it as well. But by that stage for me, because of having gone through a few other kind of upsets with them, I just wasn't prepared to kind of get into fisticuffs and go in there and waste my energies in doing it. It was a shame that it came out that way, because it was very cod, and it wasn't a true depiction of Ireland or the Irish people. And it was, it was the little people and all of that, and again, I didn't see the show because as soon as the music comes on, I go out of the room. But it is unfortunate. Apologies to Irish people, to all of Ireland.
Are you happy to be finished with Remington Steele?
Very happy indeed. Because I was just finding myself in a bit of a rut there. Creatively, as an actor, as a human being, it was just playing the same. It was very much like a factory. So.
What about Taffin? Has working on this movie eased the disappointment in any way of not being free to play the new James Bond in Living Daylights?
Oh, well, this year, I mean, I've just completed James Clavell's Noble House, in which I played the Taipan. I mean, that's an 8-hour miniseries. I'm doing Taffin, and then I go off and do a Merchant Ivory film in India as soon as I finish here. So there's no disappointment on my behalf. I think it's the best thing that ever happened to me. And
have you seen Living Daylights?
No.
No comment on Timothy Dalton's performance then?
I know Tim, he's a very fine actor, and I wish him all the success in the world with it.
Will you miss Ireland when you leave here after filming?
No. I don't think so. I'll be back again. I've got a film scheduled for next summer here. So it's always good to... I mean, my life in the last 2 years has really been out of a suitcase. So it's lovely to come home and it's lovely to leave again.